All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. And today's video is going to be my thoughts over the latest episode of Paramount Plus's MobLand, episode 4 of season 1, entitled Rat Trap. So yes, if you saw my previous review and if you're keeping up with the show, that is one of the big side plots that they're trying to figure out is who is the rat. Somebody is talking, somebody's telling. We're somewhat edging, I won't say we're edging closer, but things are ramping up because suspicion is starting to be placed on individuals. And in this episode, we also learned a little bit more about why some of the relationships in the series thus far are very complicated and distant, and just some history. We got a history lesson a little bit in this episode. So I'll be discussing that and just little bitty things throughout the episode, and just like I said, what I thought about it overall. Matter of fact, we'll go ahead and start with my score. If you're new to the channel, my scoring system is 0 to 5, 0 being trash and 5 being a masterpiece. I gave this episode, Rat Trap, a solid 4 out of 5. So with the score out of the way, let's go ahead and let's get into the episode. All right, so like I said, we got a history lesson in this episode, and we'll go ahead and we'll just start with Bella. So before we get into the history lesson, basically Harry does this thing. He pays a visit to Antoine and he gets the flash drives back. Basically, she was being bribed after a deal she was making for her father, and the guy kind of just, I think he saw, man, I could get over on her, and she calls Harry to handle that. And of course, Harry does this thing, but of course, like, he basically tells Bella, look, I did this for you, deal is off. And she flips on him. She switches it up on him and tells him, who are you to tell me of shutting the deal? I wanted you to bring the flash drives back, but the deal's not dead. And basically reminds Harry of his place in the family, that she's technically a Harrigan and he works for the Harrigans, and basically shoos him out of her room. But sticking on to Bella, what we learn, because if you remember in the previous episode, she talked about how complicated her marriage is. Well, we find out the reason for that is that she used to fuck Conrad.
Jesus Christ.
Her and Conrad were fucking back in the day, and Maeve found out, and so Conrad, thinking, well, shit, okay, what can I do? Introduces her to Kevin. Kevin instantly falls for her, and for some reason, Maeve goes through with the marriage. And what I'm thinking while she married him is she was pregnant with Conrad's son. I believe Eddie, it's going to be revealed that Eddie is the son of Conrad. Not his grandson, but his actual son. Because think about it. I know it's like, how, think about it. We already seen in the first 2 episodes May's feelings and how she feels about the side baby, Serafina, well, he claims her, so I guess you could say she's not a bastard, or she's an acknowledged bastard, but the side baby he had on Maeve, which is Serafina, and you see how she feels about her. If he was to introduce another baby, Maeve might kill him. So I think in a smart move, I guess maybe they did it that way so there wouldn't be any issues, because I mean, why would Bella marry him? You know, Kevin doesn't seem like the type to force her to marry him, but you know, that kind of explains it, why she doesn't want to be around him. So also something else from the past, I guess you could say, involving Kevin, since we're talking about Bella and Kevin, I suggested in the previous episode that I couldn't remember which one it was, but it was back when Harry and Kevin were young and they were locked up in juvie, and there was a guard that Harry recognized in the old folks home. Turned out to be a guard named Rusby, I think I'm saying that correctly, who used to beat on them, but it was implied in the previous episode that there were other things that happened, and it made me think of the 1996 film Sleepers with Brad Pitt, Jason Patrick, Dustin Hoffman, Robert De Niro, but where they played juveniles who were locked up, and Kevin Bacon played the guard that beat them, and ultimately him and other guards raped them while they were young, and it turned into a revenge story. It's hard to get through, but check it out. It's still a good movie. Check it out. But I got those vibes from the previous episode, and they were confirmed in this episode. And it totally made sense that it was Kevin who was the one that was taken advantage of, because, you know, these predators, they go after who they know they can go after. And even a young Harry looked like, yeah, if you tried that with him, it was going to be a long day. Like, you better bring a lunch, motherfucker, because he'll probably take you out, or it'll be a problem. Whereas these predators, they don't want to put up a fight. They go after the vulnerable, and Kevin, as he is as an adult, appears to be a weaker guy. And so, unfortunately, that happened to him. And it kind of confirmed also before we actually saw him, when Harry asked him about him, and the way he was very, very, I don't know him, you know, very, seemed like defensive about it. And I think Harry even picked up on it, like, yeah, you remember or whatever. And so, who knows? Later on in the season, Harry might just take that guy out just to do a solid for Kevin, because they are close. But we learned that history is hinting that she believes Conrad is weak. You know, she talks about, you know, he used to leave the house with the burner, or the house with the gun, and ready. He always had a tool on him. But now he just leaves the house and he's always messing around his iPhone, like he's weak and he should not be at top of the family. So by getting this war started, she can maybe, through attrition, put Eddie in the top spot, and, you know, her whole master plan, which she says it's playing out. It's playing out. So like I said, I think everybody that's watched this show with a brain figured that Maeve was in on this. Her and Eddie were working together. So it has been confirmed that those two are working together. And it's definitely chaos is going to reign when Maeve and Eddie put their heads together. So, of course, sticking to Maeve, and we'll talk about Maeve and Conrad, is the whole them learning that Archie's body was found. So this right here, you know, this brings the realization that there is truly a rat in the house, because, I mean, Archie didn't rat on himself where his body was, and there were only two people that knew where the body was buried, and that was Conrad and Harry. So instantly Maeve puts out the accusations that, well, he's talking, and Conrad's like, not Harry, no way. And she goes, you said he was picked up like immediately after that happened. She's like, kind of putting the doubt in the air, like, don't, you know, that has to be a little weird, which when you think about it on face value, this happens, he's picked up by the police immediately, but then he's not, you know, he's not charged or anything like that, or this or that and the other. So there's a little bit of doubt she puts in Conrad's head, which this sends Conrad out, and he ends up visiting Jane. And Jane is with her homegirl, her friend that she met at counseling. And not to go too far off topic, but Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder, I knew it immediately. She was working for the police, the friend, and it is later confirmed towards the end of the episode. But when Conrad comes to see Jan, she exits stage left. They get to talking, and basically Conrad is like, he's implying threats to her, like, basically don't be talking about the family, implying that, hey, what do we have in common? And she's sitting there looking at him, and, you know, he, like I said, he's being very aggressive, a little unhinged with her, and it's they both love Harry. And he's basically implying, like, keep your mouth shut, because, you know, Harry is my son, and basically saying, if, you know, do anything to get the family in trouble, I'm not saying something can happen to you, but you know. And so yeah, of course, that to me is going to sow some doubt into Harry, because he tells her not to tell him I came by, but of course she's going to tell him, and that's what she does. They talk, and she tells him that Conrad paid her a visit, and essentially Harry tells her, you cannot go back to counseling. You cannot go back. And he basically tells her that she compares whether the Harrigans, the Taliban, and he's like, look, when Conrad gets going, really going, you're going to hope he was the Taliban. So he's implying, like, look, you ain't going, because let me tell you, you don't want to see that side. All right, just to kind of wrap this up, We got the introduction of a new kind of mysterious character who's swung by Harry's place looking for him. The man's name is Donnie. So it's going to be interesting to who is this Donnie character? Because we've had people, when Harry was asked, does he know him? Because he seems to know Harry, and he even know, I think her name was Zaza. I think I'm saying that right. Zaza, the female who's one in Harry's crew, he knew her name. So whoever he is, he's been keeping an eye on them, and he knows the organization. When Harry was asked, does he know him, and the picture was sent to him, he said he didn't know him, but I don't know. I mean, you know, hell, Zaza said she didn't know Harry, and she clearly works for him. So it could be where it's somebody Harry knows from maybe his past, and you know, they may have a secret meet, or somebody he doesn't know. But it'll be interesting to see who this guy is, and you know, who's he working for. And so to wrap it up, to end it, Harry pays a visit to Harry pays a visit to Richie, and basically Richie, once again, he's not buying it. His friend from the previous episode, the guy they beat and tortured, he kept him alive. And long story short, he basically gives Harry a gun and says, hey, I want you to take care of that. You know, kind of his assurance. I want you to go take care of this. So Harry gives him the gun back, breaks, I think, a broom or a mop, turns it into a wooden stake, and he just stabs the guy up, and proceeds to leave. And Richie basically says, well, there's one more thing I need from you, and that one request is the Harrikins to attend Tommy's funeral. Kevin's like, fuck no, and the episode ends. I love how these episodes end. I love how the episodes ends on this series. It's that funny, like that British crime, that Guy Ritchie, you know, humor. You know, I always find it funny how the episodes end. But yeah, that's it, guys. In a nutshell, that is the episode of Rat Trap. Once again, the show is doing very well. I'm enjoying it. I'm intrigued. I'm locked in, and I anticipate every Sunday for the show to come on, and I'm going to keep reviewing it. So, guys, if you listen this far, oh, God, thanks for taking this journey with me. If it's for 1 minute, 5 minutes, or a whole damn video, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to view my content. Now, if you haven't, go ahead. What are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe, smash the like, and get in the comments. Let's talk about it. I'd love to get the discussion going. I don't know what's going on, man. Check my fucking video out. I know there aren't a lot of people reviewing the show, but it seems like I'm at the low man on the totem pole, man. I know my reviews have to be a little bit more entertaining than the ones you're listening to. So if you're watching these, please share them, get them out there, share them, you know, on all platforms. And like I said, if you're not subscribed, do that for me. It don't cost you anything. It only takes a few seconds. You just hit the button and you're subscribed. Then why not? You're already listening. So, but yeah, guys, that's it, man. It's your boy P signing off, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.